Now, the number of sexual assault cases against children is growing every day. Yesterday, we told you about a 6-year-old girl from Limpopo who died from her injury suffered during a rape. And while the young girl raped by Nicholas Ninau lives to tell her story, she'll be traumatized for years to come. According to forensic social worker Karen Botha, Ninau's victim still has nightmares about the day she was raped.
She mentioned that she still experiences nightmares on a regular basis. Her words, the boy, and what the boy did to her. The victim refers to the accused as the boy. Her words, I sometimes still see him. I remember he has brown hair, he had a red t-shirt on, and I think he has brown eyes. I see him sometimes when I have nightmares. She elaborated by indicating that she still has an image of the accused. I see him when I go to bed. I try not to imagine him and what he did to me. I just try to fall asleep.
What happened is that 2 weeks back we received information that Bitumelo was then raped and then she survived some severe injuries. And I'm sure you've heard that she has been in the ICU for the past 2 weeks, but we received bad news that she lost life, she lost the battle. So the 35-year-old man was arrested with regard to that case. He will be appearing to court. And like I can say that all our wish is that we plead with NPA to make sure that such people are not given bail and they are not even, or they are even given harsh sentences so that they don't come back to continue where they are, because that's what we continue to see. And when you engage people, they'll tell you that our worry is that people go to jail and they come back and still see them roaming around the streets, and it becomes a problem. A team of social workers has been with the family since the incident, and they will continue with the family until we are sure. But in terms of the community, I think so far the community is calm and the police are dealing with the matter.
And of course, we played those 2 clips to give you an idea of the consequences of sexual assault on children. And joining us to talk more about this is Shahida Omar from the Teddy Bear Foundation. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. So you listened to the sentencing of Nicholas Ninau, a life sentence and then 5 more years. That's 30 years behind bars. He'll be out of jail by 51. The question is whether that's good enough.
Well, for now, we actually commend the judge for the decision. But for me, I think if we just compare the trauma that has been inflicted on this 7-year-old, that we cannot take away that rape. One cannot take away that ordeal, that nightmare, that horror that she has endured. And if we just listen to the forensic social worker who speaks about the post-traumatic stress disorder that this child is now manifesting, the intrusive symptoms, the hypervigilance, I think, the fear, and we've also heard that she's also afraid of going to the toilet. So I think if we compare the life sentence and what this child, we can never take away the rape. She's been hurt and affected for life, regardless of all the interventions, professional support, therapy that she may receive, and family support that she receives. Yes, she may be able to move on and develop coping skills, but that cannot be erased, that trauma. So 51 years is certainly not enough.
Yeah. So tell me about this trauma and how you say no matter what, she'll always remember it and it'll always affect her in some way. What treatment should she actually go through to come out of this a survivor that we all remember who got through it in a way that would inspire others?
So I think the first most important thing is to get the family support, the validation that she's already been receiving, the belief and validation, and journeying this journey with her, but also providing ongoing, consistent therapy, and that is something that's unpredictable. One cannot stipulate a time frame to it. Some victims may require it for a few years, others may require it for many years, and others may require it for a lifetime. And there will be at different stages in one's life other crises, other traumatic experiences that may trigger this past history of victimization. So, of course, it requires intensive support, and that she should be able to access that ongoing, but also whenever she may need it.
The NPA says that it believes a strong sentence like this will send a message to perpetrators and possibly deter them. Do you believe that?
Well, I think that's one aspect of it. More work needs to be done. Yes, these kind of harsh sentences could act as a deterrent, but I think we also need to start ensuring that more and more younger children are informed. There's greater awareness around crime prevention, around gender-based violence. I think those are important aspects where families have to be educated, and with little children. So on different levels, interventions are critical.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. That was Shahida Omar from the Teddy Bear Foundation.